Hello, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, and welcome to the Fifth Trooper Podcast. I'm Owen, and as always, I am with my trusty co-pilot, Isaac. Isaac, how's it going?
It's going well. Glad to be back.
Yes, glad to be back, and this is our first podcast here of 2026, but before we get started looking at 2026, we're going to take a look back at the year that was of 2025. So this is our end of the year semi-ranking list that will just go over all of the fun things that came out in 2025 in Star Wars Legion. But before we dig into any of that, just remember that you can be a Patreon subscriber and help us make more of these things and more of this content. So if you like what you hear, please consider subscribing. If you are already a subscriber, thanks for letting us do this, and it's nice. We appreciate it. Thank you so much for letting us be here once again for the year of 2026. So with all of that said, let's dive straight into Legion that was of 2025. Now, thankfully, there wasn't a lot of huge rule changes here, so we're going to be mainly paying attention to the products that came out this year, and we're going to try to go in order, but it was a long year, so if you know something is a little bit out of the correct date, forgive us. We're going with the best list that we had, but we wanted to go through all of the things that we got here. And so the first thing that came out was crab droids.
Yes, the crabbiest of the droids.
The crabbiest of droids, and you got two of those little suckers in the little box, and boy, were they something.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the one where, like, you have to find a buddy when you buy it because you want to buy one and then split a box because there's two and you can run three of them. So unless there's some crazy crab droid battle force coming out where you run like six of these guys, it's good to have a friend to split these up with. Yeah, I mean, we can go through the card. The LM-432 crab droid is Armor 2, Climbing Vehicle Programmed, Repositioned Scale, Scout 1, and Scouting Party 1. Then we got 5 health on the left. And we got Breaking Point at 3, Surging Red Saves, regular Red Saves, Surging to Hit, and Speed 2. Did I catch all of it? The gun.
The weapons?
Oh, yes. We have Crabby Claws. So, Crab Claws, Impact 2, Pierce 1. It's a melee weapon. You got 2 red, 1 white, 1 black. You can put a hard point on these guys. You got a comms tech upgrade, and you got the, the programming, attack, defense, and engagement protocols. For the hard points, if you want to give these guys a little extra punch, you do the heavy las cannon or a twin blaster cannon. So the heavy laser cannon is 5 black, impact 3, fixed front, range 1 to 3. And then the twin blaster cannons are 2 red, 2 black, also fixed front, and range 1 to 3. I think that about covers it, though.
Yeah,
on the card.
I mean, for 70 points, not bad.
Yeah, they give Scout 1, 2. I mean, that's not nothing. That's going to allow stuff to get onto the board. I mean, it's an action. It's free action turn 1. So if you have some, like, alpha builds that you're trying to do where you want something to walk out onto the board and shoot turn 1, it's not bad to throw on there. I know some people are, like, scouting Dooku up and stuff just to get him a little bit more up the board, things of that nature. But they're sort of outshined by some of their other counterparts in that slot. I think is why you don't see a ton of them. But I mean, solid unit if you got them.
Yeah, I mean, I think that from my experience of playing against CIS players, I'm sorry I'm not one of you, but from playing against CIS players, for the few that I have, I feel like these kind of got slotted in pretty easily into their list. It wasn't anything that felt like it was game-breaking or oppressive, but it was always something that was there that I was like, that's a lot of keywords for 70 points. And, I was like, that's pretty good. Like, you were always trying to run some of them. I don't think I saw anyone who ever had 3 directly, but you always kind of like saw somebody like, oh, I had some extra points left over, I threw a crab droid in, which I was like, makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it is like most of the other support units. I mean, that's a fairly good point. Most of the other CIS support units, you got the Spider Droids, Droidicas, and Stab Riders. Usually people are running like all or none when it comes to those. A Crab Droid is one that's, like if you got like an awkward 70 points, it's not terrible just to throw one of in there if you like the scouting party is a really good keyword. Like it can
Hmm.
synergize with other units in your list. If you have a unit, you're like, man, I wish it could go out onto the board a little bit earlier, get more up the field, and shoot turn one. I mean, it's not a bad thing to throw in there, and it can kind of throw down with its guns and stuff too. It's not a pushover. Red saves is great. We love armor.
Yeah, I was gonna say red saves is always good. Armor with red saves is always pretty solid. Like this thing was tanky,
Yep.
and it could take some shots. It could also with move two, it could easily get where it needed to go
Hmm.
and hold points down while taking a bunch of hits. So it
It
was
looks good.
honestly it's a solid piece, at least from my perspective of it. And I think it was always it was something that I saw a lot of people that were very excited about adding them into their lists, but it wasn't anything that I think completely busted the format as much as the next thing on the list of
Well, well,
2025,
well.
the Aqua Droids.
Ah, yes. The Aqua Droids. Shall I go through the card?
Yeah, I got it here. So
Go
for
for it.
for Aqua Droids, it's a heavy with 78 points for the Aqua Droids. You got three models at 3 health apiece with absolutely no break point. With surges on both white saves, 1 speed, so it's a little slow. But with that, you were getting a piece that could uh, essentially give you moving cover, and you also had the keywords here of AI attack, comma move, armor to infiltrate, with the weapons on it being a crushing punch, which was a red with impact 1, or its laser cannon at range 3 with white and black. These things sucked to play against.
And they still do.
Yeah,
Yeah, they were
you
running rampant early, and then they, even after the nerf and the points increase, they're still pretty valid. Uh, yeah, they definitely didn't just. They're still very much a valid choice, and you continue to see them in winning list. And yeah, like what you were saying, the ability to infiltrate a LOS blocking piece that also hits pretty hard. The heavy weapon is like the 2 red and a white impact 2 helps kind of boost the floor of that pool. It's just a good unit, and it punishes you, and it takes way too much effort to kill. Like there's 3 of these guys, so you got
mm-hmm.
you usually with the heavy, it's 12 health, and you're always shooting over armor 2 the entire time, and it's just like more effort than it's worth.
It's
But you can't
so
ignore
much
them.
effort to try to fight these things, and I mean, I remember seeing these for the first time, and I was like, oh, I lose. Like this isn't just kind of a problem. This is the problem.
Yeah. I mean, the best thing to deal with these, which is you're starting to see more super squads, but you need like volume, honestly, to like get
Hmm.
these things off the board. Like I know you see armor too, and people like sometimes the tendency is anytime you see armor is like, oh, I need to take all the rocket launchers. It's not really this. You just kind of want to throw a whole bunch of dice at them and just get over the armor too. Uh, like these guys are immune to plink damage and stuff. So when you're throwing like smaller pools and stuff, half your hits are getting knocked out by this armor. So it's kind of reminiscent of like well old school fire support I guess, but throw a lot of dice at these guys. If you're gonna
Yeah,
shoot at them, make sure you do it. Shoot at them a lot. No plink damage on these guys because it's gonna be wasted.
definitely. Yeah, this is not a thing that my ATRTs with laser cannons are going
Yeah.
to really be able to do much about, because even with the impact, I'm maybe killing a model
Yeah,
after 2 throws, 2 attacks with 2 ATRTs on it, and then like maybe I'm getting 1 model. I'm not
right.
getting the entire unit. There's still 2 more models in there, and
Yeah,
since there's no breakpoint, like it's just cool. I've made your walking wall coming towards me slightly smaller, but
yeah.
you still have one.
Yeah, it's a hard they're just it's so much health. It's just so
It's
much
so
health
much health.
and so much more effort to kill. I mean, like the smaller dice pools with impact, maybe if like you're like, oh, I need to put 1 more wound through to like take a model off. I can see like throwing the storm DLT at it, or like split firing some heavies off that have like the impact keyword. But you definitely don't want to throw like high value small pools that don't have an ability to get through armor at these guys. It's just don't bounce.
Yeah, these guys will absorb hits, and
Tanky.
again, let me just say, 78 points right?
Hmm.
This is 8 more points than the crab droids, and this is doing so much more. Like it is insane just how cheap you can have a moving wall as CIS players,
Yeah,
and it's like, yeah, I mean, hey, if AMG giveth, taketh. You know, like
not even wrong.
I ain't blaming them, but
Yeah,
it is definitely a problem.
yeah. Well, that in context of the faction too, you have access to a lot of cards that give aims. AI is kind of a almost not even a bad thing anymore. So like, there's a lot of cards that will give units with AI buffs, like tactical download and things like that. So you can put link targeting around these guys. Usually is a pretty common thing. So it's not crazy for these guys to be shooting at you with like 3 aims. Uh,
No,
two is fairly common, but like you can get fairly high. Um, just with just before anything happens, you can have like a couple aims on for these guys to use. So it's definitely powerful in that regard when you put it in context with the faction.
yeah, we unfortunately we weren't around to do a sire buy of things, at the beginning of the year. But I will say this was 100% a buy, and if you ever see, if you
Hmm.
are a CIS player and you see these and they aren't in your list yet, I don't do it. These
Use
things
them.
are good. Like this was 100% something that was like, wow. I've never seen some. I mean, again, I'm new to this, but that definitely changed the
Hmm.
landscape of games that I was playing, and I noticed that one for the couple of matches that I played against CIS people. It went from, you know, I could easily kind of fight him as a rebel player, and I felt okay. To, oh, I need to be running Ion and Impact in almost every single list I have now. Like it changed what I was up to
Hmm.
because I have to try to counter it, and
Yeah,
it's good.
definitely
There,
something you want an answer for. If you're not if you're not running it yourself, then you definitely want to bring some sort of
yeah,
solution.
it's not a unit where it's like, well, maybe if someone's running it,
Yeah,
CIS players are running
yeah.
it.
It's yeah. It has to be like 90% of CIS lists right
Yeah,
now use these guys.
these guys good. Very,
Good.
very good. Like you can just stick them on a point, just be like, "This is mine for the rest of the game," and
Hmm.
you ain't touching it. And it's like, "Yep,
All
that's
your
happening."
Grievuses and Dooku's just QB sneaking right up, right up the middle behind these guys.
Truly, truly, yeah.
But anyway,
I think that that entire part is something that's just like it's not shown on the card, but it is something that it's just like it's mobile cover.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you never have a unit that's just like, well, I have to get him out of cover for a little bit to do something. You always just are
Hmm.
like, nope, I got a wall. That wall moves wherever I go.
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely easy to look at this thing on paper and be like, meh. And then you see it and you're like, oh,
Oh
as
no.
we have.
Yeah. Next up in our release order here is the ARFs with an F for anybody who
ARF
notices,
troopers.
because I don't, they all sound the goddamn same. But yeah, we have the ARFs, which gave us the Jedi's, the little
The Jedi Guardian.
little Jedi Guardian guys. Yeah,
And
and honestly, I really like ARFs. I thought this was a cool unit. This was one of the first things to add another lightsaber to the Republic lists, so they could have a little bit more going on there rather than just the ones from their commanders and their operatives, right?
Mhm. Their
Um,
squad lead.
yeah, like this was nice. This was cool. I like this.
Yeah, I mean, they're a cool unit. I love that the helmets and stuff are really cool. Long rifles. They're in a weird spot right now with marksmen kind of doing their job a little bit better, at least like from a raw like dice perspective. But they're a solid unit. I would love to know if somebody has actually been running the Jedi Guardian in the ARP Trooper unit. Like comment below, like how that's happened, or how that worked or went for you if you have been doing that. But yeah, the Jedi Guardian kind of tends to appear in ARC Troopers if it's getting ran at all, at least at this point. At least that's how I've seen it. But
Yeah,
it's you get a cool unit out of it.
for those that are listening, the ARFs are a 4 trooper unit with 1 health, 2 courage, red saves, speed 2, and you're getting this for 70 or sorry 66 points.
66.
So you're getting 66 points. It's also got Observe 2, Scout 1, Low Profile Unhindered with a black unarmed melee, and the DC 15A blasters with a range 4
Hmm.
Blackpool. Because like, so this is your, we can stick him in the back and we can plink.
Yeah.
Which seems weird to have the Jedi Guardians with that group because like
That's weird.
if
Well, they had
I'm
to get him in the
being
game somehow. Arcs are
yeah
already out, so they couldn't put him in there. Maybe that was a justification.
yeah like I'm glad that we got the Jedi Guardians. I think the Jedi Guardians are cool. I like the ARFs because this was able to give us some more range 4 options for Republic lists, and it kind of like is making that more of a thing that can happen. It's just like, yeah, hey, hang out in the back, take shots. But having like a melee unit inside of a range 4, I mean, I guess it's range 1 to 4, so you can get
Hmm.
closer, but it does seem like a thing that you're probably finding a back point and
Yeah,
then just
they're good.
taking it and then just shooting from there.
They're a good back cap. It's
Yeah.
kind of weird. Marksmen also do that. We'll talk about those later, but it's kind of a competing role, so to speak.
Yeah. And marksmen are
There's
doing
definitely
it
use
for
them.
16 less points
Right. That's
at base, right?
that's where
This
it's
is
kind of
without any
hard.
upgrades.
I will say, ARF Trooper stock did go up a little bit because of 212th. There's a little bit more utility there for the 212th Battle Force. These guys give vehicles. Will give every ARF Trooper gives one vehicle. Scout 1, I believe. So it's like scouting party for vehicles. So they can help your vehicles get on the board. It's nice if you have an awkward amount of points, which you, at least in my list building, you tend to do. Usually you do have a awkward amount. It's not the worst thing in the world to slot one in to get your saber tank on the board for free. That's not worth nothing. They can be token batteries and things too. They do have clone trooper keywords so they can share tokens and things like that, and to the vehicles as well. And the observation tokens. I haven't seen anybody kind of like lean into using the ARF troopers for the observe keyword. There's potential. There's a little bit more synergy, I guess, on a Cody list. So it's not a little bit of utility there. So it did kind of increase their unit stock at least.
Yeah, I've definitely had people observe
Yeah.
me
Okay.
with them, but not like it's not your first priority move, right? Like you're
Usually,
moving
yeah.
towards your objective with them or
Mhm.
you're shooting with them, and then if you happen to have a second action that you're not doing anything else, it's like I guess I'll
Might as
observe,
well. Yeah.
so that way someone else can maybe get the ability to plink this down a little bit better. So
Hmm.
like I have seen that, but yeah, you're definitely shooting every turn with them that you
Hmm.
possibly can, to try to get the best value out of them as possible.
Yeah.
And also, for the Republic, coming up next, we have Padawan and Commander Ahsoka.
Let's go.
Let's go, Ahsoka! I thought this was such a cool thing, that it was able to be like, hey, here's Ahsoka, here's two different versions of
Hmm.
Ahsoka, so that way you can have one as, the Commander Ahsoka taking up that slot, but then you can also have one that is part of a unit upgrade. And so then
Yeah.
you can just stick them in, you can stick Ahsoka in there, and you can have the younger Ahsoka just kind of like leading the squad around rather than the entire army. And I thought that was cool. I think that's
Yeah.
a very cool play space that they were able to have with it. And it definitely also gave us some very nice models to show a lot more of the Ahsoka's arc. So now we've got three Ahsokas that you can have, which I think is
Yes.
it's neat.
Yeah, I think she was the
I'm
first one too that they did that with, where it was like a
yeah,
character and a unit upgrade as well.
yep. And I will say it did throw me off, and this was just my own thinking that I definitely thought that the Commander Ahsoka was going to be for the Republic players, and the Padawan Ahsoka was going to be for the um, oh, I'm sorry, backwards. I thought the
It's like
Commander Ahsoka was going to be for the Rebel players, and
rebels.
the Padawan Ahsoka was going to be for the Republic players. Because I was like, oh yeah, it makes sense. She gets older and she's part of the rebellion and does all of her stuff with that. And this is our new, because there's resculpts that are happening at the time. So I
Yeah.
was like, oh, this is a resculpt that Rebel players get, and it's like, no, this isn't.
No, this is
Hush,
season
Rebel player,
7.
this isn't for you.
Season 7 Commander Ahsoka. Oh no, well, no, she's a commander always, for the most part, for Clone Wars, I guess.
Mhm.
Rex gets promoted to commander at the end. That's I got confused there, but yes, this
Yeah,
is Republic Ahsoka.
the Commander Ahsoka card for those listening is a single unit, obviously. It's a 5 health, 2 I don't know
Courage
why
too.
my mind just blanked. Yeah,
It's all
thank you.
right.
Yeah, courage two,
Too
and
scared.
it's only surging. It's surging at crits on attack. It's red saves, speed 3 base, which is super fast.
Fast.
Love that. And you've got the jump to keyword there, so you know that you're getting across the board and you're getting to whatever is in front of you.
Mhm.
You also have associate Anakin Skywalker, deflect, immune pierce, independent recover. You have Scout 1, Xian Mastery, and Ahsoka's lightsaber is a melee with 3 white, 5 black, impact 2 pierce.
Mm-hmm. She has command cards too. I don't know if you want to go through
Oh
those.
yeah, I mean, there's Command. I mean, like Commander Ahsoka's pretty solid. I haven't seen a lot of Commander Ahsoka's being played, but for 110 points and having all this going on, not
Hmm.
bad.
Yeah, she can be fairly killy. She has some there's she has some command cards that kind of make her a little bit more offensive and things like that. And we don't see her a ton. At least I mean I know when she first came out, I saw her a little bit. Then I haven't seen her much in the commander role. Um, her squad leader upgrade though, uh, you do tend to see quite a bit because it
Yeah.
gives out a charge keyword and also turns on some pretty cool melee keywords. So I guess I'll read that real quick. So you can for 35 points put her as a squad leader as well. She has leader, sidearm, melee, range. That means she basically it means she can't shoot a clone rifle when she's in the squad. So no shooting with her. The unit gains block, charge, and independent dodge 1, and she has lightsabers that are critical 1, impact 2, pierce 1, and it is 2 white, 2 black. It's really it changes the role of a clone infantry squad quite a bit, which is a cool utility to put in your list. All of a sudden, that infantry unit starts becoming a pretty good little melee threat,
Hmm.
um, with some extra defensive tech too.
Yeah, no, I think that having her as the upgrade, and I definitely think that this was kind of the starting point of them being like, how can we get more heroes as squad upgrades?
Yeah,
Is like, this was such a good idea. Like, it works so well. It's so fun to see.
yeah,
It is a little unfortunate because of the fact that it came in the pack like that with both of them, that there is a lot of table talk that at least that I had to have of just like, is that a commander or is that like because people were of course trying her in both slots, and
hmm
so it was a little confusing as an opponent to just been like, okay, well, I see Ahsoka surrounded by a bunch of clones, that must be the unit upgrade, and then find out it's like, no, that's actually there's another activation in there, right? Like that she's
yeah.
commander version, and I was like, right, sorry.
Definitely good to clear that up with your opponent beforehand.
Yeah.
Uh, there's a slight points different in those in those upgrades slash units. Uh,
But I think, cool design space, cool play space,
yeah,
cool
we've seen more of
sculpts.
it too.
Yeah, this is definitely a thing that I was very happy to see the Republic players get, and I definitely thought this was a very fun thing that I was like, oh, this is nice. Like this is a
Yeah,
cool thing that I'm glad to see more lightsabers on the other side of the field
Mhm.
from me, so that way I could actually, it started feeling a little bit more like I was fighting the Republic, and so I was
yeah,
about that.
yeah. The design space as a whole is really helping with faction identity and just getting more characters on the board. Like Republic has squad leaders and things, but we've seen Cassian and
Hmm.
Callus. Like they're basically kind of the same sort of space. Uh, and I think yeah, the Rex got that upgrade treatment as well. So I think it's really cool. It seems like they're going to be doing more of that kind of stuff, and that's exciting because we get to have more characters. It's easier to design around. You don't have to balance around 6 Ahsokas. You just bounce around one, so it's a little bit easier to do.
It definitely solves the problem
Mm,
that I had as like a Hero Hammer player of just like, it's Star Wars. I want to play the fun Star Wars heroes, right? Like I
right.
want to have Luke, I want to have Leia, I want to have these people, and it's like, well, here's a way that I can have more of them in my list and on the field and playing them without taking up the precious slots, so that way I can kind of have them in still, but maybe I don't have them in taking up that amount of points. Like, as you mentioned Cassian. Cassian was a thing that I liked playing him, but I knew he wasn't really that good, and he was definitely chewing up
And
a
now he's
lot
the
of point
best.
cost for doing so. Whereas now, as a unit upgrade, you put him in every super squad you have.
Yeah,
Like,
now he's like, remember me?
so good.
Cassian's over. I want my money. Forgot I was here. Comes
It,
back with a
it
vengeance.
definitely was something that I was like, man, I'm so glad I bought a Cassian like 2 years
Yeah,
ago, so I don't have to
right.
go find one right now. I was like, oof.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, is Cassian hard to get right? I'm sure he's getting
I mean,
snagged off all the shelves, but
my store had my local store that I go to had 2 Cassians
just
in
like left
stock,
over.
and the second that upgrade hit, they had
Yeah,
no Cassians in
I'm sure
stock.
they just got snagged. You're like, yeah, because it's only old stock, but he's coming back. Reprints are coming.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
there's reprints. There's reprints. Speaking of non reprints, new things that
Hmm.
we got. Also in this year included the custom commander and operative packs for every
Yes.
faction. And I'm not going to read all of that because, dear God, is there a lot, and also it's customized. So
We
who
did an
knows what
episode on it,
version of
didn't we?
it that
Right?
you're running, but you're running it. These were
They're
great.
good. They're good. Whatever faction you're running, you should grab whatever one it is. They're not. Some are better than others. I
Hmm.
will say, but they're definitely worth having. Like just as a tool for your list building. I think most lists like to have access to the potential, of including one of these guys in them. With maybe the
Yeah,
Knights of the Republic, but
I've
mostly
I've heard Republic people have mentioned that the dice pool isn't as big as they want it to be.
yeah, slightly, slightly not as Jedi as a Jedi as you think a Jedi would feel, but who knows? There could be stuff coming that makes them better, and they look really cool. It's cool to build Jedi's, and we love our glow sticks.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think the customs were fantastic. They dropped them at a good time, and they have been just useful
Yeah,
across the board.
yeah, they got
They're
a lot of utility.
they're beautiful sculpts. You can customize whatever they look like, so you can get them to be whatever.
Hmm.
Then you also have all of the kit bash stuff that you didn't use that you can then
Hmm.
change up all of your other things. That's fantastic. So just from like a model perspective, before you even get the utility aspect of it, awesome. And
Yeah.
then you have the utility aspect of it that you can be like, hey, like I want it to be a melee or a range or a this or a that, so it can fit
Yeah.
into your lists pretty well. And some of them do things that your commanders were doing just as well,
Cheaper
maybe a little
body, I
bit
think.
less, or more pinpointed to what you were using your commanders for, or your op slot for less points. And so then
Yeah.
you can be like, hey, I want this to be a token battery, and instead of taking my commander that's a token battery, I can take this version, which is
Hmm.
more of a token battery but less of a punch stick. So that way they're still doing token battery things, but now I'm saving myself, what, 20, 30 points or whatever, and I can go
Yep.
use that for other stuff. So, like, all in all, customizability cool, flexibility cool. Everything about these was a home run in my opinion.
Yep.
These are fantastic, and just I think if I had to rate like all of the things that came out in 2025, I think this is like star number one, the best thing that came to Legion in 2025.
Yeah. It's definitely like if you're gonna like go after things that change the game state, this is yeah, I would also agree. It's like the number one thing that changes state of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody's list building changed overnight when these guys started dropping. So
Because you could just, I feel like it just opened a lot of doors,
yeah,
right?
it's a
Where
cheap chassis to like serve a role that you need. Like you were saying, like you might not necessarily want to pay the extra 100 points for all the cool other stuff. I just want a support commander. All
Mhm.
right, build that. I want a melee threat. Build that. They're good at like plugging holes at a lot of lists. Like they just needed one thing. Like, oh, I need a linebacker unit. Cool, build that. And
Yeah, and
they fill
instead
a
of
lot of
paying
roles.
100 some points for
Yeah,
it, you're just paying
right.
50, and you're like, awesome.
Yeah, they serve roles. They're specialists that you can customize. And
Yeah, these came out around the same time as also what everybody loved, the essentials kit and card packs.
yes.
Everybody thought those were so useful and great, and there definitely wasn't a lot of people being like, "Why do I need to buy all these different card packs?" Which to be fair, I will say, the it was very confusing trying to figure out which card pack had what cards in it.
Yeah, I
Like that,
did buy a mercenary pack, and I don't need it. I'm
yeah.
probably gonna give it away as prize support or something here.
That I definitely feel like there is a thing there that was like, well, this is all print and plays. We didn't need this in the first place, and you don't need them in the first place. But it also was just weird that they existed, and then you needed like 2 cards from this pack and like 8 from that. I think that just got a little. I think it got a little out of hand.
This is
Um,
the predicament that I have is like I'm printing and playing, and I'm like I'm cool with that. But now as I'm buying releases, I'm getting the official cards, and now I'm like, well, I need a place to store these cards, and I need to like keep them together, I guess, since I have them. But like, I don't want to like this is my CIS collection. It's just like 4 cards. So now I'm like, am I gonna go buy the card pack just so I can fill a binder and just have a complete little set for the just for the sake of completionist in me?
my
But
my giant plain white cardboard box that all my Magic cards lived in, they got a little bit more squished because now there's just an entire
you're
row
throwing
that's
everything in
nothing but
there.
Star Wars cards, and I was like, I definitely didn't need all of these. I'm glad I have them because I have the actual cards, and so I can sleeve them up and be able to use them in ways better than I was with like literally using Magic land cards in sleeves with black and white printouts in them.
Uh,
Like, and of course, then I always ran into the issue when someone was like, "All right, what's your attack pool?" And I was like,
like,
"Is this black or red?" It's a black and white print, so I don't know. I'm trying to
right.
figure this out. Like, I definitely think that it for me. It was a nice thing to buy, and I was okay with spending the money on it. And I think it was a thing that I was like, "Hey, I'm glad that they offered.
Yeah,
This isn't for
yeah, yeah.
everybody. Don't buy it if you don't want it."
Yeah.
Right? Like this was the thing that people, if they wanted the official stuff, they could have the official stuff. You don't need the official stuff. It's not tournament like necessary. So, but it was nice to have and be able to be like, yeah, let me get the card packs. But for the most part, you got everything that you needed
Mhm.
inside of the new starter sets,
Yeah, those are super
and,
huge.
and those things,
Are awesome. Chef's kiss. Perfection. Perfect. Can
yeah,
we put the
just
what's the stitch in the little me? The gift.
absolutely
Perfect.
great. Hey, yeah, yeah. Look, look, Wills, we know you watch. I
Yes.
just want to say thank you. These
Thank
things
you.
are great.
It's great. It's there's never been an easier time to get in the Legion, which is
Yeah,
nice. Like as like a community builder and like you're trying to pull people into the game, you're trying to throw events and things. It's very nice to be able to like grab players that are coming by on a local play night and they're like, "Oh, how do I get into this game?" and then be able to point them towards the nice little tailored starter box that is like at a very good price point for any sort of miniatures game. Like honestly, I can't really think of another miniatures game at all that you can get into sub $100 and have like an army. Like
yeah,
that's significant. So it's great.
yeah. I mean the price of these, man, I have to check because they were stupidly cheap.
Yeah, they're like $90. Like
Yeah,
some like
I mean,
yeah,
yeah, like they. I think MSRP coming out was like
maybe
95, $100, something
yeah,
around there.
somewhere between 90 and 100. And you
Yeah,
get like I mean, we had a whole episode on this, but you get like around $200 worth of stuff in it. So,
yeah.
like I'm gonna go buy an Imperial starter set to do Stormtrooper Battalion stuff, just because like I need like a scout, like one scout and one storm, and it's literally the same price. So I might as well just get double of that. Like
hmm
it's
and like especially around the holidays when these things were on sale and things, and you're seeing them 90, 85 in
yeah,
that range at some of the stores and everything. Like, man, a unit itself is $50.
yeah,
There's no there's
go
there's
for it.
no reason not to buy like spend the extra, like you're losing money. You're like, the
Yeah,
meme is real here. You're losing money if you don't buy a starter.
yeah.
Like,
That's before you even factor in like all the tools and the stuff that you get with it too.
I
Like if
I,
you
I had a wonderful person at my game store who wanted to pre-order buy one for the Hondo. They
yeah.
wanted Hondo because Hondo was given as a pre-order bonus for them, and
Mhm.
so they only wanted that, and they were like, "I'll split the box with you," and by that they meant they'll take the Hondo, I'll get everything else.
Wow.
No, they took Hondo and Luke, and I got everything else. And I was like,
It's a
yes,
great
I
deal.
will gladly give you $50 for two more
The
sets of
whole thing.
Wookiees, two more sets of Rebel Troopers, a set of Commando. Like, yeah, done.
Yeah, I bet you didn't have a
And
Luke
like,
thing.
I had already bought one that I was painting at home, and I was like, yeah, I'll do a second. Like, why not?
It's a great
But
deal.
it's
Yeah.
these were so good as deals. If you didn't get one around the holidays and you wanted one, I
Still get
get
them. They're still
yeah,
there. They're still
they're still
cheap.
there.
Like,
They're
find
still there.
buddies
They're
and
still
split
cheap.
up. Like, split, like, make friends, split these boxes up. They're a good deal. You're all gonna, like, everyone's gonna thrive. It helps build the community. Like, do it.
Yeah, and there's definitely somebody who's like, hey, I'm using all of these 3D printed like half measure tools or whatever, and so I'm
Yeah.
just trying to get the measure stuff and new dice and whatever, and they'll chip in $10 to buying it while you grab
Mhm.
the rest.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
people will do that, and so
Mhm.
I highly recommend people checking that out and trying to get more of the because this was a fantastic starter set and a great product, and like I know there's so many people that bought other factions as well. Like this was a great way that they were just like, well, I've been eyeing doing X faction, and I've
Yeah.
currently got my army on the other side, and they're like, well, hey, for $90, like okay, and so they picked them up, and now they're doing tours of duty with another faction than just the one they started with, and so I think that's fantastic and very cool, and I think that was such a cool thing. And
Super helpful for the game
yeah,
state.
it's super helpful for new players. It was super helpful for old players who just like it's great value. I think dropping the tours of duty around like just after these came out
Mhm.
as well was a fantastic thing because it's like, hey, you now have an army that's 700 points,
Yeah.
and here's a thing that plays at 700
Yeah,
points.
700 points.
Yep, and like people want to do it, so it's just
Yeah, yeah.
like, look at this,
It's a
look at
great time
this
to play
thing.
Legion. Like we're getting a lot of good stuff. It's easy to get into the game. Like come 2026, I mean we'll talk about that a little bit, but like we're gonna have like access to all the stuff. It looks like, and like it's easy to get into the game. Like this is 2025, 2026 is gonna be like really exciting. Just the game health and like what's available is really starting to look at a very good spot. Where I know
Mhm.
it's been kind of hard to get stuff in the past couple of years, but it looks like we're finally through that season. So it's exciting
Yeah,
stuff.
no, I think Legion players have been complaining, and rightly so,
Yeah.
but they were feeling a little left out in the rain during the crossover and everything. But I think
Yeah.
we finally got to the point where AMG is not only treating it correctly, but also supporting it in a way that it's like, okay, like you have our
Mhm.
attention, and here's all of the stuff. And I do
Yeah.
feel like that's happening right now. Of just like, oh hey, we're getting this. Like,
Yeah. It's pretty apparent that like it's definitely a priority for them. I mean,
yeah,
I'm sure all their games are, but like Legion is definitely getting a little bit of extra love right now to help get it back in the right spot, and that's good to see.
yeah. And will we be the favorite child of AMG forever? Probably not.
Yes.
I hope so. But it's okay. It's like, hey, like let's enjoy the limelight while it's here, but also recognize where we're at and just being like, hey, like
It's good.
it's a good
It's a
time to be a
good
Legion
time to
player.
be alive.
Yeah, it's a good time to be a Legion player. And as we had mentioned, with all of these wonderful starters, getting all of these units and everything, uh, there were. I would say that here's some criticism to AMG that this was not rolled out as well as I had hoped. It was very confusing for the stores from talking to the store managers that I was playing, or not playing, but discussing while I was playing. Was the rollout of the Hondo. Hondo,
I think it's kind of on
such
point for his character, right? Like his
yeah,
release was kind of like he's like in the shadows. He kind of pops up. You don't really know where he's at. He just kind of pops in whenever.
yeah. Like this was such an interesting thing of like people wanted Hondo. Hondo was a like pre-order bonus that was being bundled with this stuff, but stores never knew how many they were going to get. and they didn't know when they were getting them. Some stores I
Hmm.
talked to literally opened the box and said, "What's this?" Like, it was not rolled out as well as I think it should have been, especially since pre-order bonuses have existed for years now. This isn't new. It is new for Legion, but
Yeah.
it is like, we've been pre-ordering stuff from GameStop and getting an extra DLC skin for whatever for decades. Like, this isn't new. This
Yeah.
isn't new of just like, here's extra stuff, hand to person when buy game. Here's how many you're getting. Like, that's not a new thing, and so I think this was kind of poorly rolled out because there's a lot of people that wanted this because the only way to get him was from the pre-order bonus because he's not out. You can't just buy Hondo.
Yeah. Which he will be soon.
He
He's
will
coming
be
out
soon.
Q1.
Yeah,
Q1 is when he's so like the next couple months he should be on the shelves, but
yeah. So if you don't have Hondo, just
fret
don't
not
don't go to eBay and try to grab one for
for a
like the
bajillion dollars.
yeah, for whatever markup that they got him on because they're like, oh, limited edition, whatever. It's like, yeah, you can get the same exact Hondo in like a month.
Hmm.
So
Along with the
just
rest of his
wait.
buddies.
Yeah, along with the rest of it. Why don't you? Do you have Honda's card up? You want to?
Yeah. Hondo Anaka, trustworthy compatriot. He is an operative. He has so many keywords. So he's a mercenary. He can do all the factions. So he has Arsenal X. We'll talk about the X's in a second. So Arsenal X, disengage. Independent dodge X. He has my mood is based on profit. And then he has nimble, reliable X. Uncanny luck X, and then his we'll come back to the X's. His courage value is also X.
Also X.
And then health 5, white saves, no surging, hit or blocks, and then
Yeah.
he is speed 2. He has weak way cunning in melee, melee to range 1, which is 3 black. And then he has Hondo's blaster at range 1 to 2, which is a white, 3 black, and it is versatile. All the X's, I believe this is, my mood is based on profit, basically says whatever pip value on your command card that you play is going to be what X is. So if you play Standing Orders, a 4 pip, you will have Arsenal 4, Independent Dodge 4, Reliable 4, Uncanny Luck 4. You get the picture here. So there's some funny things you can do with them, but
Absolutely.
I love it.
Absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy. Such a cool thing. 10 out of 10. I think this was such an interesting thing to have a unit's power basically on the field related to how much pip is being played in the command cards. And it's like,
so funny.
yeah, like it's thematically on point for Hondo as well as just being very entertaining to play against. Like this, I have only played one game against someone who had a Hondo, and it was just fantastic to watch. Like, right, like this is like a thing that is just like this is just fun.
Well,
Like,
there's people like taking like I've heard of like CIS builds with order control and then just playing standing orders all the time. So Hondo is just like supercharged the whole game. Or like you could like play standing orders and throw this dude into like a Jedi, and all of a sudden he's like giving Vader a nice hug and only taking like a couple wounds because of it. It's really funny.
I mean, Uncanny Luck 4 off of a standing order is crazy.
Well, the dodges too. He can like straight up hug a melee threat and survive. Like it's just really funny.
Yeah, like it's such an interesting thing too because like those command cards that you're playing that are 1 pips, 2 pips, like those are pretty strong and they're doing a lot to affect the board state. But you don't want to really play them with a Hondo because it doesn't really give Hondo much to go off of. So like it's such an interesting thing because then when you're like, okay, well now I got to play my 3 pips or I got to play standing orders, it's something where you might not want to play it because it would be weak. With him, it actually gives him a boost, and so you're like, okay, actually, standing orders might be pretty solid right now. Maybe I do play my 3 pip on like turn 2 or turn 3 where I'd be normally playing a 1 pip because that means my Hondo can just run in there and start wrecking things up. Like, all right, like this is a fun thing.
I'm really excited to like just when his buddies and stuff hit too, the pirates and things. It's gonna be such a fun. I just love I love like the whole like Hondo's entire vibe. I just want to
Hmm.
like play Legion and then blast the Pirates of the Caribbean soundtrack as I do it, and just just be
So
a
many
pirate.
stories I could
Be a
tell.
pirate.
So
Yeah,
many of them true.
it's so funny.
He's literally one of my favorite characters in the
Yeah,
Star Wars
he's so
universe, and
great.
it's just like it's so nice to have him in the game. Like I cannot wait for him to be more publicly available, so that way we can see more Hondas in action. Because I'm like
Yeah.
most of the people that I've seen have just kind of like got him with the pre-order, painted him up, and maybe played a game or two, and then he's like back on the shelf. Not because he's
Yes.
bad, but just because we haven't really like we're still
Right. We
figuring
only
it
got
out.
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just love that. I won't go into all the command cards, but that's just good business where he like he'll give you suppression and take all of your green tokens, and the art is like Obi-Wan kind of like getting he's like knocked out and getting drugged to prison. It's just such a funny thing, like because you could just do this and just straight up take all the green tokens. You could do this to a Yoda. You could just take all of Yoda's tokens on his luminous beings turn, or on Obi-Wan's one pip. You can just take all of their stuff. It's like
Yeah, if you time it right, you're just like, oh, look at all of those dodges and surges
mine.
you have, and now they're mine.
It's like I have a deal, trade proposal. You get suppression, I get all your green tokens.
Thank you. I will take all of these.
It's
Yeah,
such
like
a
it's
very
such
themey.
it's a great theming. It's a fun thing. My only complaint with him is I don't understand how you're supposed to build that little parrot thing that's on his shoulder. That thing sucks.
I also had no idea that you could build him as like a regular, like weak way
Yeah, yeah.
captain. You can build him as a captain, and I was like, what are all these extra parts? I'm like
Uh-huh.
trying to put it together, and I was so concerned that I'd like screwed something up or like somehow got like an extra sprue, and I'm like, ooh, I got something like early I'm not supposed to have, but no, you can also build him as a captain. So
Yeah, and so again, great thing to have that if you were like, hey, I want to just have this as like the unit leader for my weak ways when I buy the weak ways, like you could just buy them and make them
do
into
that.
a different version and do that, and I think that's a really cool thing. Like honestly, just it is a cool unit. I understand why people really wanted these. I understand that like as a pre-order bonus, this was a great incentive for people to be like, yeah, I'll pay $100 so I can make sure that I get all of this stuff for the starter set and also a cool Hondo. But yeah, I at least from what I've seen from other stores and everything is that it was not rolled out nearly as well as I feel like they needed. Because if I am correct, like they got pretty much like a couple every case of starters, and that did not math correctly. And so you ended up having a lot of starters and only a few Hondos. And
Right.
it felt really bad being the person that was like just on the other side of that list and not getting that Hondo. Like I saw that happen to people at my store, and it's just like they really wanted Hondo, but they didn't pre-order in time or whatever,
Some
so they didn't
instructions
get
needed.
one. Like,
But here's to perfecting that process.
yeah.
There is time.
Yeah, like I say that this is a problem, but I also go, this is a learning experience. And
Yeah.
I do feel like this feedback was heard. And I do feel like we'll see if that feedback gets actually implemented the next time they want to do stuff like this, because I like this idea. I would
Yeah, it's
love to
pretty cool.
have special editions that are like, hey, you pre-ordered this battle force, here's a special edition Leia or something, that's with the battle force, so that way you have like a cool sculpt that you
Mhm.
wouldn't normally have. But since you bought like a good version, you bought it early, you get that, and I'm cool with that. Like, I am shocked that Legion has some of that already, and I'm also shocked that there isn't more of, because that seems like a really slam dunk thing of
Yeah.
like, hey, some people want to feel cool and they'll buy their fifth Darth Vader if it means having, if he's posed a new way.
Right. Yeah. We need like 15 poses Darth Vader. Like,
Yeah,
come
like
on.
people will buy that. There are people that will buy that, and is that for everybody? No.
Yeah.
And for the people who are just starting out, and for the people who don't, they're like, oh, I already have it, I don't really need it. Like, it does kind of be a cool thing for somebody who comes in at that time and they go, oh, like I started playing in 2025, and so I got this cool version
Mhm.
because that was only available in 2025.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it like everybody loves like their cool gamer bling, and
Yeah,
yeah, it's cool. It's cool to pick stuff up like that.
and as long as it's not mechanically different.
Right? Yeah, don't be like this is the overpowered unit that you can only
Yeah,
get one of.
which
No.
which we had mentioned that before, and I would like to shout out people in our comments that did mention that apparently they have done that in other AMG has done that in fact in other games where
Oh,
there's
really?
units that you had to get it at a specific time, and that was the only time that that unit was available or that style. And like,
Oh
if you
no.
bought it later, it wasn't nearly as good. So I hope they don't do that, and maybe they
They've been
learn
pretty
from the
vocal
other
about
games.
not doing that.
Yeah,
Okay. Oh, that's
but
that's interesting.
as
What?
far as sculpts go, it's just like, yeah,
Mhm.
I don't want to have multiple sculpts of Luke, but like, I'll take it. And
Yeah.
I think it also opens up very cool prize support for tournaments also in the future, because then they could have things that are just like, hey, here's like every store gets a one version of this, and this is for your store tournament of the year or whatever, and you got to win to get that one sculpt of the thing, or I think that's
Mhm.
cool. I think
Yeah.
that's a cool thing, and that way you can have that on your side, and when you see that, you can be like, "Oh crap!" Like that person got this because they're super good at the game. Like I think that's a cool thing.
Yeah, yeah. One thing I want to plug. I'm going off our script here,
Yeah, yeah.
but the tournament kits and the store kits. That's something that came out just Q4 2025. Ask your stores about that stuff if they have that stuff in, because there's like a lot of exclusive content and things in those as well. Like there's like weekly play kits where it's like a little booster pack. You get like 3 promo cards in, and it's just the regular promo packs they hand out for prize support and things like that. But that's a cool thing too for developing the game, like just to keep people coming out every week. People love
Yeah.
to play games.
And
They love to play games for free stuff. Like
and you have those, right? Like that's at
yeah,
your store. Yeah, because at my we don't have those at our
you
store
don't have
anymore.
them yet. Yeah, well,
Like,
they might still be coming out. They
yeah.
might not have hit everywhere, but definitely, if you're any sort of community organizing and doing that, like try to get your hands on that stuff and
Oh
hand it
yeah,
out,
a
because
hundred
that's
percent.
people love that stuff. It'll help build communities.
Yeah, because like it gives people the incentive of just like, hey, like I got my tournament list. I only show up during like tournament nights or whatever. It's just like,
Hmm.
but do you want to have this cool holographic card of this unit that you play? And then they're like,
Yeah,
yeah, all right, I'll show up and play not on a tournament night, so I get the cool holographic card. And you're like, yeah, cool. Like I think it's nice to have more of a reason to bring
we,
people out
and a lot of
instead
us
of
used to be ex-pack fiends. We get that pack fever. We love to rip a good booster
ooh
pack open.
promo pack.
These are
Yeah.
it's just a little hit. There's only 3 cards in there, but
Mhm.
just enough to get me
It
going.
tides you over.
Yeah, it just holds me over.
Yeah. Let's continue
Yes.
the list here and wrap it up. That we do have the Clones Marksman that we've already kind of talked about here. The Clones Marksman that did also come out towards the end of 2025.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely changed a lot for Republic.
yeah.
2 core options. I mean, without going too crazy into it, they're a great area denial piece. Actually, there's a mini that just came out. So like, if you want a deep dive on this, like pop on over to Notorious Scoundrels and look at that. But they're a great unit to have. Definitely should have some if you're a Republic player. They serve specific roles, and it's the cheapest unit you can put in the slot. And yeah, they're good long range shooter. They can be with ARC
Actually,
troopers.
the Pike Syndicate foot soldiers are 8 points cheaper
Yes,
than the Clones
technically,
Marksman.
but they do not satisfy my core requirement.
Yes.
So
Yeah, the clone trooper marksmen are a 50-point unit of squad of 4 at 1 health, 2 courage, red defensive saves, 1 speed, very slow. But you've got prepared position
mhm.
and marksman, and you're running the DC 15A blaster rifles, which is range 1 to 3, not 1 to 4 like they are on the ARFs, but you are getting long shot and still the same amount of damage. So you're still doing the same amount of damage. You're doing a little bit less range, but you have repaired positions, marksman, and
Mhm.
long shot, so you can easily spend your aim over on on the long shot to get that last bit to go up to 4 like you have with the ARFs, and you're doing it for 16 points cheaper.
Yeah,
Honestly speaking, this is great. Like this
it's a
seems like
solid unit.
exactly what people have been kind of looking for, to have more range inside of the Republic
Mhm.
lists.
Yeah, it's popular running like the super squad builds. Usually that's how you see them. You'll see people running like the 9-man squad, or like a one-off just for a cheap activation, just because it's a little bit cheaper than the infantry. And they can share their tokens like every other clone trooper. So
Yeah, you stick these guys, they're cheap. You stick them on a back point, you have them shoot, and just do covering
yeah,
fire for helping out the rest of your units, and you're not upset about it. Like
yeah,
it'll reach, and it's
right.
not expensive.
They're good at
And
drawing a line in the sand. Like
yeah,
if you cross this turn 1, I will shoot you. That's kind of what they do.
yeah, and you got red saves on them still, so like
Yeah,
they'll be tanky on a point, and with
and
2 courage as well. Like you're not
mhm,
you're sticking on that point, and you can hold it with just that, and that's pretty solid.
yeah. Especially if surge tokens laying around, then they really start to just be impossible to chisel down.
And our last thing, and the thing that I feel like that has shaken the game up the most, if you want to talk about impact,
Yeah.
um, the General Grievous Wheelbike Warlord.
Our very own Evan has seen great success.
Yeah, great success. I mean, this was so good it got nerfed so fast, and
Really
it's
got nerfed?
still good. Yeah, yeah. I think there was already a thing that like something happened with this that already. Maybe it was just the list that Evan ran and not Wheelbike itself.
Oh, yeah, I
But
think because the Aqua Droids all went up.
oh yeah, that's what it was.
That's
I'm
what's kind of
sorry.
the nerf to the list. I think
Yeah,
he's as a unit is. I could be wrong, but I think the unit itself is still what it is.
yeah. I
But
mean, 150 points. I mean, that's a
solid.
good chunk of your army, but 8 health, red saves. You got it's a vehicle, so you don't have
Mhm.
to worry about courage at all. You just don't have
Just
courage. It
like
has no breakpoint
90%
either.
of Grievous's problem. Like that's significant.
Mm-hmm.
Like go to his
You're surging crits for attack. You've got move 2 on it, armor 1, climbing vehicle, commanding vehicle 2, entourage with the other wheel bikes. You have
T-Rex.
immune melee pierce. It's mobile, and then you have the trophy lightsaber melee with 1 red, 1 white, 3 black, with impact 2, overrun 1, pierce 1, ram 1, scatter.
Keyword
And then
soup.
you also have its ranged attack, laser cannon and pistols, which is range 1 to 2, which is 1 red, 2 white, 2 black. So it just takes the black, moves it over to the white, and then you can do pretty much the same thing in range.
Hmm.
And then you've got that's on fixed front, impact 1, and pierce 1. So you don't get the fun overruns and all of that. But still, like, good God.
Yeah, it's a
Good
lot.
God.
I will say, after playing against this, it feels so thematically, like thematically on point. Like the scene in Revenge of the Sith, where he's like jumping off the platform and like running clone troopers over. That is very much what he's doing. Like, especially against me, he's just running clone troopers over. That's what he does. But yeah, he's just gonna do donuts in your line. He's gonna throw out the Grievous 1-pip where either training your Jedi are. He just kills a lot of stuff. He's kind of a little bomb. He can swing flanks. He feels very much like a super heavy cav piece. Like
Mm-hmm.
he's a wrecking ball. I love it. It's a cool unit.
Yeah, I think it's a cool unit, and I think that having these like heroes on vehicles, things that we're getting like
Hmm.
this, and the Hauntons, like this is fun. This is
Yeah,
this
it's
is a
cool to see it. It's cool
again
to see it.
fun design space, fun thing that it's like it changes it up so it's not just like, oh, here's another sculpt of a Grievous, and like, no, this Grievous does something different and it's drastically different, and it allows you to have a different play style. Like I'm sure
Hmm.
once the wheel bikes come out, that having like an entire like that I think they coined it with like the Mad Max list,
Yeah,
just like
Fury Road.
everyone on vehicles. It's just like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, you could do that, and we'll probably do that, and we'll see that.
Yeah, there's a world where you could run him, 4 of these wheel bikes, 3 stabs, if as long as the points work. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
I mean,
That's a lot.
it's cool. I think this is neat. I think this is a
Yeah.
very neat thing. This is definitely a piece that CIS players have been enjoying playing and have been playing a lot. So I
Mhm.
would say that if you're playing against CIS, expect to see these.
Yeah.
But it's just such a different thing because whereas we talked at the start of this, right, with the Aqua Droids and how the Aqua Droids really changed things up as moving cover. this is just moving pain. This is
Just
rolling
moving pain.
thunder, right? Like this is just rolling straight
Yeah,
around, and it's just like, oh, we got a lot of stuff coming at us.
right.
Okay.
I will say as a PSA, before you run this unit, do yourself a favor and read Overrun like 4 or 5 times just to understand it, because it is like once you put him on the field, all of a sudden there's a lot of like, huh, how does that work? How does this work? Like, how does it interact with this? So it's definitely worth having a good grasp of that, just because it's you're gonna be doing it a lot. Like that's basically he's just gonna run stuff over and shoot you. But
hmm And before we completely finish off here, I will say I can hear the comments now. I understand. We did not talk about any of the resculpts that came out this year, but there are a lot of resculpts that did come out. We understand. We just wanted to talk more about the newer units. And I will say, for those that are talking about the resculpts, there was a bunch of resculpts. There was the B2s and the Stormtroopers and also the Rebel Trooper
yeah, all
resculpts
the core
and
units.
basically everything that was inside of all of the core troopers that were inside of the starters. Those all got resculpts. Arcs resculpt. The AA5 tank for the Rebels came out. As of recording, the Saber tank just hit. Like,
Yeah,
hey,
stuff's
there's
coming
a
out.
lot of stuff that came out that was previously available that's back, which we appreciate because I think this is a good way of getting your hands on stuff that was starting to get harder to get.
For sure.
Unfortunately, there is still a lot of stuff that is hard to get. But looking at the calendar of 2026 and into the future of our crystal ball here, we're getting there's so many more resculpts that they're planning for the rest of the 2026 as well. So we
Yeah.
will see more of this happening. It is a thing that they're trying to kind of catch back up to player demand.
Mhm.
So hey,
It's
it's
exciting.
coming. Unfortunate that it's not all here, but like it's coming. And hopefully that'll be nice. And you just as a preview from what we've seen for 2026 at Ministrab and everything, we've got new battle forces, we've got Imperial Probe Droids, Imperial High Command, we've got the Heroes of the 501st box, as we've talked about already on this podcast. We've got the Weequay Pirates and the Weequay Tanks. Like, there's
So much
so
stuff.
much stuff that is
It's gonna
coming
be a
in
good year.
2026. It is going to be such a good year.
Hmm.
So you
Yeah.
just keep all of that in mind. Is that like, hey, we had I think 2025 was a great year of Legion. I really feel like we kind of slotted into 2.6, and Tours of Duty also like really kind of made Legion feel like Legion, at least in
Hmm.
my opinion. Like, this is what, when I bought the stuff, I was expecting, and then it kind of all came together, and I was like, wow, this is fantastic. I'm having fun playing this game. I'm trying to make sure that I'm out every single week playing with my community and out there, because like this is a fun game.
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is this is a
It's
fun
a
game,
great.
and it's a good time to be in this game.
Yeah, for sure. It's a great, yeah, it's a great time to be playing Legion, and it's exciting even at like post 2026 with the re-releases and stuff. It looks like we're gonna have pretty much everything fairly accessible, and on top of that, with new stuff coming out, which is
Yeah,
that takes a lot, like in the production end of things, and like they're handling it well, and so it's gonna be great to have kind of all the toys at your disposal, so to speak. At least from what I've seen here, it looks like just about everything's gonna be um, there for you to get. So all the units you've been wanting to run that you haven't been able to get your hands on, they're coming. You're gonna
the
be able to get
fleet
them.
troopers that I
The fleet
still don't have
troopers, the
because I
land
can't find
speeders,
them.
the
Yeah,
all that good
the
stuff.
the e-webs Imperial people have always been talking to me about
Webs,
never being able to find.
Snap riders, like, yeah, there's so
Yeah,
much stuff that's, or the upgrade packs too, like all the heavy weapon upgrade packs, those are coming back. Like, fret not, it's coming. So
yeah.
it's a good time to be playing.
It's a great time to be playing, and keep it here for 2026, as we will be discussing so much of the casual end of the game and our enjoyment of it. Um, we will have a special video for you in the future here. Of We are going to go through every keyword for units and weapons. I
Just
want to
units and
I want to
weapons.
preface this, which is by the way, so far at current count is 168 keywords. So we will go through all of those and rank them. Kind of best tier, worst tier, mid tier, all of the above. So we will discuss all of those keywords and have that in the coming weeks here. But bear with us. It's going to take us a second to get that set up. In fact, it might be more than just one episode because I don't think we can do 168 keywords. We got to be pretty quick.
That's like 5 seconds a keyword.
Yeah.
We're gonna do that now, so it's probably gonna be multi-part.
Yeah, so this will probably end up being multiple episodes, but we think it'll be fun to kind of be able to go through and be able to talk about all of the different keywords, kind of the state of where some of these keywords are, and also what units they're on, because I'm sure some of these keywords are going to be fantastic, and also some of them we're just going to be like, what the heck is this? So there will be a lot of that.
Yeah, hopefully a good resource too.
Yeah, we are going to. Well, I'll make sure that we have all of the keywords marked for those episodes as well, so that way, if you want to know what a keyword does, you could go to those and learn what it does while hearing us banter about if it's a good keyword or a bad. So it'll be edutainment, as the people call it. So so it'll be a resource as well as something fun. So that will be our gift to you at the start of the year here as we get things kicked off and going. But, we do all of this because just like 2025 and everything else, we do it for
the love of the game.